Shorts.
Well, I was at the same polling places.
Bowling.
Polling.
Thank you.
We were at the same polls.
Yeah, we were all at the same polls, and for a while I was working, equipment clerk, and like.
What's that?
It's where you're standing by the machine that scans the ballots, and people would ballots.
Thank you.
People would come up from a different precinct and try and run their ballot through with our scanner, and like 3 or 4 times. One time I didn't catch them, and then like my lady got like really really mad at me. She was like, "Rrr," and I was like, "Sorry, I've been there for like 2 minutes and it already messed up." But then like there's a couple times where people just come up and then they, why can't I run it through here? And I'm like, because it's a different precinct, and they just didn't seem to understand that they needed to walk like 10 feet that way and go run it through the other machine. And then I decided that I was going to take a break and like go to Starbucks, and I asked if everybody wanted to, like, if anybody wanted me to get anything, and like everybody said no, and then like as I was leaving, like 3 or 4 people said yes, and I didn't remember what I was supposed to go get. That was interesting. And I ended up like.
So you went and got?
I went and bought like meals for people. It was a little weird. I was like a waiter.
Out of your own pocket? Or
No. They gave me cash, and then then I came back and I ended up working clerk with her, and
With Yasmin?
yeah.
Yeah, she has a name. Go ahead.
Okay. I ended up working clerk with Yasmin, and it was like fine, except we had to deal with a lot of stupid people. I didn't really like that.
You're saying voters are stupid?
No, I'm just saying people are stupid.
People are stupid.
But
not anybody in this room, right, Joseph?
And then,
Clark,
and
except putting a baby in a box with air holes.
It's
really
fine. It's fine.
and we had this one guy who came in with his provisional, or no, with his vote by mail ballot, but he's a San Ramon guy, and so and our like inspector guy wasn't there, and he kind of walked up to us and he handed it to us. He's like, and I was like, wait a moment. I looked at her, Yasmin. I was like, I haven't seen this one type of ballot before. And the guy like came over because he heard us, and then he asked him. No, the inspector. Yeah, he came over and he's like, he said like one sentence to the guy, and the guy got on the offensive immediately. He was like actually like looking for a fight. It kind of felt like it.
A lot of San Ramon people and Danvillians, but go ahead.
Well, it was like he said this happens every single time I go and drop it off at a different precinct, and the guy and our inspector was like, exactly. Our inspector was like, it's because you're dropping it off at a different precinct and it's not in your area. I mean, and he's like, I'll cast it for you. I'll go put it in the blue box right now. And the guy was like, just not happy with that, and he just wanted to keep arguing, and it got to the point where like our inspector was just like done with it, and he just kind of looked at the guy and like, do you want your vote cast or not? it was just like, and the guy came in looking for an argument, and it was like, why would you do? We're trying to do like a good job here. You don't need to come in and make things harder for us because it's already like been here for like 6 hours. Like, you obviously weren't doing that. Okay, so just go home and like leave me alone.
Was it boring?
No, it wasn't boring. I mean, it was just it wasn't exactly fast paced, and I thought it would be a little bit more. I thought there'd be more people coming through, and I was a little disappointed at the lack of the people. But at the same time, a lot of the people who voted in the 3 precincts in this area are elderly, and so they vote by mail. So there's not as many people who come into the actual polling place.
So,
yeah.
Would you do it again?
Yes, and
Do you think you will do it again?
Yes.
Why?
Because I find it to be an interesting experience, and it's an easy way to make $60. And I personally enjoyed it. I didn't have a problem with spending the time there, and I think I'm probably gonna go help Yasmin at the next one.
Do you feel more likely than you did before that you are gonna be a voter?
No, not at all, because I've always known that I'm gonna be a voter. I'm going to vote every single election, every single time.
What would you say to the kids in this classroom who chose not to do it?
I think that you guys missed out on a very valuable experience. It allows you to look in on the other side of that sort of thing. And for me, I actually got to see that before I even actually got to go and vote. And I think it's completely changed my opinion on the matter. Or not opinion, but the way I look at it. It's changed the way I look at it.
How? What's the way you look at it now?
Well, I mean, I remember when I was younger and I'd walk into the.
Respect to listen to him, especially since you didn't even do anything. Go ahead.
I
You didn't work in the poll.
I worked at
You work on a bowl?
what was I saying? I don't remember.
Honey, I get people who work at polls. Talk to me about that. Go ahead.
No. It changed the way I looked at it changed the way I looked at it because like when I was younger, I'd walk into the polls with my parents and I'd always be like, oh, look at all these old people in their booths doing their thing, and like and I always thought that it was really just kind of like I didn't understand the significance of it. But the biggest thing that like changed, opened my eyes to that is when after everybody left and the polls were like closed down, we were cleaning up, and there was so much like things we had to do exactly how we had to do it, and like we had to follow a checklist, and there was this tamper-proof tape that we ended up cutting with pens. Like we'd stab the tape with the pen, and it would like totally mess up with the tamper-proof. But
What was the point of this pen?
to make sure like when we were taking it over that nobody like had cut it or anything like that. And opened it up and changed the ballots or anything like that. It was actually a really, really unique experience. Oh, and while I was working, we got somebody told us about what happened in Pennsylvania. A guy over in Pennsylvania who was leading the poll or like running the polls, an inspector, he got caught changing ballots from Obama to Romney.
Whoa, who did this?
He was a poll inspector, like one of the guys who was running his poll area. He got caught changing ballots from Obama to Romney, which is kind of funny because it's the people's poll, and like the small amount that he could have changed is definitely not worth the amount of time he's gonna do in prison.
And Obama still won.
And Obama still won Pennsylvania.